Hi, Helen here. Feeling overwhelmed? Let me share 3 top tips that will help bring that overwhelm right down within a few minutes. Overwhelm is one of the things I get asked about the most, and over the years I've helped hundreds of people to calm that overwhelm within minutes, including lots of people who've had mental health issues or are neurodiverse. These are the techniques I use specifically for myself, for people within the family that I've had to help with mental health issues, but also for my daughter. We've used this for years. She's autistic, and when she's really overwhelmed, we particularly use the first technique, which I'm going to explain to you right now. And that helps we do it together, and that calms things down. Because if you're autistic, the worst thing that people can do is start asking you to share why they're overwhelmed, what they can do, how can I help you? Because when you're in that level of overwhelm, and most of us feel that way, we can't always tell people what exactly is keeping us overwhelmed. So let's get into it, and let's get us all back onto a lovely, calm place so we can enjoy life. So the first one is box breathing. So what we're going to do, and we can do it together, is we're going to do this. You do this several times over a few minutes, and it is absolutely one of the best things you can do to calm overwhelm. So we're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and then breathe out slowly for 6. And the reason we do this is to calm our nervous system down. And immediately you'll feel your heart rate. If you're feeling really stressed, just start to calm everything down. And you'll find that when we're very, very stressed and overwhelmed, we're not breathing fully, which means we start to breathe very, very shallow. And that actually raises our heart rate and makes us feel a lot more tense and stressed. So let's have a go at doing the box breathing together. So we're going to breathe in for 4 slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll do it again. So breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, and breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And keep doing that until you can feel everything just calming right down. Sometimes I've done it just 2 or 3 times, and that's solved it. And other times I've had to do it for 10 minutes just because I've been so stressed and so overwhelmed because of juggling so much. So try that one. That is by far and away the best one you can start with. Okay, so the second thing you're going to do is, you're feeling overwhelmed either at work or at home or something's going on, you're going to take a break. Because what we tend to do is we tend to just power through when we're feeling overwhelmed, thinking I've got so much to do, I've got to keep going, and we get stressed and stressed and more stressed, and we don't achieve as much or anything in the end because we become so stressed, and it's really, really bad for us. So we're going to make ourselves take a 5-minute break. Ideally, if you can take 10 minutes, even better. Whatever it is that's overwhelming you, if you're at work, you've got loads on. I'm telling you, if you can take 5 minutes and go and get a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, ideally, if you can step outside into some nature, that is the best thing you can do. You can do your box breathing. Don't start scrolling on your phone. Don't start, doing trying to do emails or anything. Put the device away, because you just need to be present in the moment, and you just need to focus on you and your breathing, and just be in that moment. So try and start just focusing on a bit of nature, on something that you see. If you can't get out into any nature, you're in the middle of the city, or you just can't get outside because you haven't got enough time, then try and go and look out of a window, or just walk away from your desk and go and make a drink. Or if necessary, go to the loo, but, just go for a quick, 5-minute walk, and just get away from the area that's stressing you out. If you're at home, try and take yourself out of the situation. So if you're caring, your kids, or something is stressing you out, particularly if you're in the, you're having an argument or something, try to step away and just take a few minutes, because I'm telling you, if you just let yourself calm down, it will calm the whole situation down, and it will help the other person calm down as well. So the other technique you can use when you've stepped away is called the grounding technique. And just remember this as 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And what you're going to do is it's to get you feeling grounded in the moment, to be in the present, so that you can, again, calm and reduce your nervous system. So what you're going to do is you're going to look for 5 things you can see. So I'm sitting here, I can see a car out the window, I can see a window, I can see the sun, I can see a tree. So look for 5 things you can see, and that starts to take your focus away from and diverts the focus from the overwhelm. Then you're going to think of 4 things that you can touch. So ideally, if you've got, your clothing, I've got this nice jumper on, which is really cozy. There's a blanket here, something soft. There's a wooden shelf. But, if you can feel things that feel nice, again, it's that tactile thing, and and it'll just help you feel better. 3 things you can hear. So that's number 3. So just listen, particularly if you're outside or you've managed to step out, maybe you can hear some bird song or something that's a little bit more soothing. But, even if it's cars or, people walking around or whatever, just take that, divert that attention away from your overwhelm. Then you're going to think of two things you can smell. At the moment, I can smell the honey in my tea, and it smells fabulous. I use that to help with my voice, but also because I've got asthma. So a teaspoon of honey in tea really helps with asthma. And the last one is 1 thing you can taste. And we've just talked about that lovely honey. So, and already I was feeling a bit more stressed when I started this video, but talking to you wonderful people and just going through those 3 techniques has really chilled me out. So thank you for that. Okay, so once you're calmer, I then want you to focus on getting yourself into a position where you're not having this massive overwhelm with you all the time. So I've been using this because obviously I have ADHD, and I've used this with a lot of people who've got ADHD, but also if you are neurodiverse or not neurodiverse, it doesn't matter. It will really help you if you can do these next couple of techniques so you don't become overwhelmed as much in future. So the first one is to declutter our brains. So declutter the mind, and we're going to do a brain dump. And I can imagine a lot of you thinking, I haven't got time for a brain dump. I haven't got time for anything else. I am so overwhelmed, Helen. What are you talking about? Trust me, this works. So what I want you to do is I want you to just get a, pad, ideally, if you're like me, ADHD, nice bit of stationery, so some lovely pens, but literally a bit of paper, whatever you've got to hand, and just list everything that's going on in your head. And this is so good for just clearing all of that overwhelm and stress out of your head once you've calmed the nervous system down. Get it all out of your system, get it all down. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't have to be neat, because it's only you that's going to see it. Then what I want you to do, and this is absolutely brilliant for boosting your productivity, and this is what I've started to do over the last few years and has made a huge difference to my life. Because before I'd have been trying to get through a massive list, getting overwhelmed, or I'd be running around going from one task to another, and I'd start a task and forget that I was doing that task, and then I'd go back and do the other task, i.e. I'm quite good at starting cooking something, popping out into the lounge to get something, forgetting that I've started cooking, and then going back and wondering why things are boiling over. So that's just my mad brain. Anyhow, once you've got it all down onto your mind dump, I then want you can use a highlighter or just circle things. So I want you to just take 2 or 3 things that are the most urgent, prioritized things that you need to do. So we're going to start prioritizing things. So every day, ideally do it the night before, but if you don't have time, do it first thing in the morning. I always put down onto a little bit of paper, because it's good for my head, just to have it separately. I've got tiny little post-its that I use so that I don't forget what I'm doing. And I just pick 1, 2 or 3 things that are absolute priorities. For me, usually it's just 2 things, because it's better for my head, because if I get that completion cycle within my head, gone. If I can achieve 2 things a day, that way I quite often get a third thing done, and then I feel fantastic. So, and that's what you're going to do. You're going to just get those 2 things that are absolutely urgent and important. And we'll talk more about prioritizing and how to prioritize in another video. So I'll go through all of that to help with that. So, and then the cool thing is then once you've done those 2 things, and because your brain's only thinking about just 2 things now, because everything's cleared out, you'll find you'll have more energy and more ability to just get those 2 things done. And suddenly these big tasks won't feel so huge. If you've got huge projects that you've got to do, break them down, chunk them down so they become, break them down into like 1, 2 or 10 things. And again, prioritize what's the most urgent and important so that you can get those done. And again, I will do a video on how to take projects and chunk those down, because I've done a lot of work around this and helped a lot of people, particularly people, women with ADHD or who've been overwhelmed, in how to take a project and to make it a lot easier to get going and get it sorted. So one of the key things, and this is an extra top tip, you're saying to me, Helen, but the thing is, my boss is going to come to me and this is what to do about the overwhelming boss. So the overwhelming boss, what you're going to do is learn to say no. And you're thinking, I can't do this. I can't do this. My boss isn't going to let me do that. I've got to get it all done. Trust me, I've done this in every job I've had and it has always worked. And my last job, I had 6 different managers who were above me. I was a manager, but then I had these, the higher up directors, etc. And I had 6 of them and that I had to report to, and they all had different priorities. So when they come to you and you've already got all this stuff going on and you're working through your own list, and they'll come and they'll say, oh, Helen, I've got this thing that's really urgent. It's got to be done by tomorrow or the end of the day or something crazy. And it's going to take much longer than that. So what I would always do is just calmly say to them, I'm struggling with capacity at the moment because and I would then get my list out, which would say all the things I'm doing so that I could immediately say, look, I've got these 6 things that I'm doing, and these are all the priorities, or, these are the 6 projects, or these are the 2 things that have got to be done by X deadline. So end of today or tomorrow. Which of these do you want me to stop doing so that I can fit that in? Which is more of a priority for you, this project or the one that you've just brought me, or the task? And immediately, and this has worked with every boss I've ever had, and it doesn't matter, and I've had some hellish bosses, trust me, but immediately I'm then asking them the question, I'm giving them the ownership. What is their priority? I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm just saying I need the capacity to do it. And I've found that has always started a conversation where usually something on my list that was a priority gets taken off. Wee, bing, bing, win, win, win. We want that gone. Awesome. And then they'll suddenly realize, oh, actually, that one was more of a priority. Get that one done first. And then actually this could wait till tomorrow, or maybe, in a couple of days. So always have the capacity and have the assertiveness, use the assertive no, and you're able to say, no, sorry, I need your help here with us in order to prioritize and get this done. And the final couple of things I would recommend is ask for support. If you've got anybody who can support you with it, it's fantastic friends. I have the most amazing friend group, so I'm really lucky. I've got fantastic family, but there's always somebody who can give you a little bit of support. And if you're struggling to find friends or family or someone to support you, then come here and I'll support you. Drop a comment and I will respond to you. I'm here to believe in you and help support you. And then the last little tip that might help as well to just keep things going on even keel is I use kind of hypnotherapy videos from YouTube or from Spotify, meditation, and there's also some fantastic Reiki videos if you're into Reiki, which are just so relaxing. It helps me go to sleep. And it helps me just if I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed, I'll do, you know, a quick 30-second one or 60-second one on there, and immediately just helps calm down. If I'm finding that the box breathing and the, you know, my first 3 tips haven't worked, they're just little extras for you. So take care of yourselves, and I will speak to you soon. And, you know, make sure that, you know, I believe in you. I know we can do this together. So I hope to see you soon. Bye.